Hey, welcome back to Art Bros Talk number 8. So on the last video, we ended up talking for almost an hour, and I thought it'd be better if we cut the video in two. And that second part needed an intro, so this is it. Welcome back. Review time. We watched She-Hulk.
We had to we didn't watch Miss Marvel because
It just didn't. It didn't feel like it was for us, you know. It was clearly meant for a younger audience, for a different kind of audience.
aside from that, the character is not that interesting for me.
Yeah,
personally.
I just know bits about her. I've never been very interested in the character. I am very curious as to what her powers have always been, because they're just very strange whenever I see them. I'm not 100%. Well, basically, I just had I didn't have a lot of interest in the character.
We skipped Miss Marvel. We watched Moon Knight.
Yes.
Separately. I was greatly disappointed.
Yeah.
I love the Moon Knight comic books. The character is just so different from any superhero I know, and the way the series decide to portray him is as a broken, sad man trying to heal. When the Moon Knight I know is not really that, and the comic books are usually way creepier.
Yeah, I feel like they tried to make homage to a very recent, very good Moon Knight run, and they went too safe. Like, they tried to make it too safe. They tried to have people as little confused as possible. And then they try to throw the more interesting, trippy stuff near the end, and it just kind of like loses.
Because actually, the most recent Moon Knight runs are very confusing. Some of the runs, you don't even know if Moon Knight is hallucinating everything he's doing, or if he's actually doing it, like at the start of the series. But the way the comic book does it is on another level.
Which I think is kind of like the appeal. You know? Because what happens when you have a character whose run is entirely confusion and creepiness and making you question yourself every moment that you read it as to what you think is going on? And then when you have him show up in someone else's comic, you're like, oh, this guy is going through some stuff as he is in this cameo, which makes it fun.
They didn't mention Dracula.
They didn't mention Dracula.
They didn't mention Dracula. That's so sad. But we weren't talking about...
So, yeah, we were going to talk about She-Hulk.
Because that's the one we watched together.
Yes. And why are we mentioning Moon Knight?
Because it was a big disappointment, and it's in the recent...
Disappointment. That's why. I actually had hopes, like high hopes for She-Hulk. I actually wanted to see some stuff in She-Hulk that just never happened. Or I don't know, I walked away from She-Hulk feeling very apathetic, which is the worst thing you can be.
Wait, let me make a quick note. The Moon Knight series is not bad. Like, as a series, it works. Like, the character's great, the designs are great. There are some scenes that I personally don't like, but as a whole, the series is great. What happens is that if you're a Moon Knight comic book fan, the series is not great. It deals with some of the Moon Knight plot lines, but like not in a good way. As a series, it works, but if you like the comic books, like, it doesn't work. Our issue with She-Hulk is that the character in the comic books is not that great, and even in the series, some parts of the story are just...
Well, it felt to me that whenever something was about to happen, or it felt like something was going to happen, or it felt like something was happening, it immediately got held back by something else. And it was usually random side characters doing random stuff or stuff that just didn't help the plot and just kind of like bothered me. Like this guy like at the beginning that used to work with her that is like the asshole of the show.
Yes.
He's constant popping up. Like I would have been fine if like they shat on him for a little bit and then, you know, got over it. But he kept coming up and it would bother me. You know, or
Like the series is trying hard to piss you off.
yeah.
To the point that the series knows it. That's why when in spoilers, guys, spoilers, in one of the last episodes, She-Hulk just breaks the fourth wall, looks at the camera and says, "Is this what you want?" Obviously not, and they know it, so they are trying to piss you off.
Yeah, like I felt like that scene was great. Like I really liked that scene, but it made me incredibly disappointed in the show because it came out of nowhere. It felt weird, like it just didn't feel like it earned it. And it didn't, you know, it was, how do I explain it? It was a great idea surrounded by bad ideas. And I don't think the show was bad. It was just made for an audience that was just too targeted. Like it was made to appeal to very specific type of person, a very, very specific type of person, and anyone else, just it's not like it would insult everyone else. It's just like, you know, we kept seeing scenes that felt like they were being built as like big jokes or big emotional moments that I just didn't care about. Like it was so full of things I didn't care about that whenever something I cared about happened, it felt bad because
yeah, there's that scene in which She-Hulk gets a sex tape.
Yeah, that like I felt like that was a very, very dark moment in a very not like very lighthearted overall show. Like it felt incredibly dark, and I was like, oh, if it just keeps ramping up, this could be like a fucked up finale with like a maybe good ending, but it immediately takes that shit back. It's like, oh no, like these horrible people, they're just a bunch of dorks, idiots. Like just, and I like it took like immediately took it away. Like when that thing happened, I was like, oh, this could go somewhere like real deep and like real like intense, and it just didn't. And then I didn't care.
And She-Hulk gets her powers removed, then she goes to jail, and
I don't know. It's just
it's like if you like us watch the series to see the cameos, you can tell that like you didn't actually watch it for the character, and it's not like we don't like the character of She-Hulk. She-Hulk is like the best of every Hulk in one package, and also is very funny. Like it's super strong, it's smart, it is like controlled, so you can do a lot of things with the character. But
it really feels like the show was just. I'll put it like this: from episode 1 to the end, who's the villain? I'll tell you who's literally anyone who's not She-Hulk or one of her side, friends. Everyone else is a villain. Every time the dad shows up, with the exception of maybe 2 times, he is there to passively just shit on her. Every time her mom's there, she shits on her.
Like her
family. Every time her boss is there, he shits on her. Every time she sees anyone who's not Daredevil or one of her 2 or 3 friends, they shed on her.
And even their friends shed on her once or twice.
Literally everyone is constantly shedding on her to the point where like it's just like bothersome. Who's the villain in the story? Literally everyone.
And they brought their devil back.
They brought their devil back, yeah. Go ahead.
That actor is so good.
That actor is so good.
And
He's got too much charisma.
but what they did with the character was so lame.
I mean, I did like the fight scene between him and She-Hulk.
Yes, but everything
Which-
else.
Also, people have commented on this before, but that scene was very strange because She-Hulk just decides to, hey, this is my first out there, public, not public, but like outdoor fight. I'm gonna destroy everything. It was very strange for someone who's supposed to be controlled to destroy everything. Well,
It just seemed like the writers wanted her to destroy shit for fun.
yeah, I liked Daredevil on the trial. I liked that little bit at the later on the fight, and then is sort of done.
You know what happens a lot with this series is, for example, there's a scene in which they try to replicate one of the old Daredevil's hallway fights. That scene was uncomfortable for me because it looked like a bunch of people trying to imitate something and not even coming close, but you can see them try to imitate, and it was... They could have just avoided imitating and just kept going their way, and they wouldn't be dealing with that uncomfortable feeling. But that thing is all around the series. It's like it's always trying to do something and stopping not close.
Yeah, it like hints at it, comes close, it's about to do it, and it takes a step back. Like, I'm not talking about, Daredevil should have messed up all those guys in the hallway. No, I'm talking about the cinematography was not like
There.
It was not Daredevil cinematography. Like, he looked off in those scenes. The lighting was weird for
Even
him.
though his choreography,
Even though the choreography was good,
because
everything else was like off. It was like it felt very quickly put together. If suddenly the lighting got moodier and the camera became a little bit tighter, on him, not so zoomed out, and suddenly like the vibe was perfect Daredevil, and then boom, you interrupted with She-Hulk and everything goes back to normal. That would have been dope. I would have liked that. That would have been kind of funny. But no, it just it's just kind of like halfway there. It feels like they don't know if they want to commit.
Yep. I'm a musician, he's an illustrator. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
No. But then again, critics don't make movies.
Nope. But he does make a comic book.
And he does make music. So
The use of the Netflix Daredevil theme in She-Hulk, I found really great, smart, and that made me realize that the music in She-Hulk is kind of...
I actually don't remember any of the music
you
in
can't
She-Hulk.
remember any. That happens a lot in every Marvel series. You can't remember the music because it is that forgettable.
Well, here's the thing. I can remember Spider-Man.
The first trilogy. Or
No,
are you
I can
talking about-
remember, from the MCU.
Yes.
I can remember Spider-Man's theme. I can remember Iron Man's theme.
It took 3 movies. 3 movies.
I can somewhat remember Captain America's theme because I remember it from the first Avenger. I don't know if I hear it ever again.
Not
It
really,
maybe sneaks around. Obviously, anything Black Panther's like very recognizable.
Because of the drums, I don't recognize the music. I do recognize the drums.
There's a lot of very interesting tracks.
And
in
the Avengers
Black Panther.
theme,
And the Avengers theme.
they just blast it every single time.
And-
I don't like the Avengers theme.
But like aside from those, you have to remember there's like 5 instances in like 50 movies.
For contrast, let's look at The Mandalorian. Boom. The song is like there. It's
Yes.
in your face. You remember it. You can listen to it, and it's great instantly.
I don't remember any music from She-Hulk. Like, I remember the song that is not from Moon Knight, but was heavily featured in Moon Knight, which is like, you know, it's kind of his theme.
Yeah, but that's not a song.
But it's not soundtrack, you know.
Yes.
It's a song that was picked to be
they've been doing that a lot lately, like not using soundtrack. And the most memorable soundtracks are soundtracks they reuse from older products. Like in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, there was the X-Men theme. Like even for a second, and you have like these flashbacks.
Yep. I heard the other day the Hulk's theme from his movie from way back when, like from MCU Hulk, his movie, his theme, and I was like, why have they never used this again? Because it's not bad.
We're watching Harry Potter recently, and they did the same thing. Like, if you look at the first 3 movies of Harry Potter, they are extremely musical. It almost feels like a music movie. Like, there's always new themes and new instruments popping up.
To me, it peaks on the 3rd movie.
And then after the 3rd movie, the music starts going down, and you don't remember any song.
Because, like, in Prisoner of Azkaban, like, the music is, like, so thematic, so appropriate, so there, like, present,
like the
constantly.
Old Star Wars, like the old Batman movie.
And then it just becomes less and less Harry Potter. Like, it goes in a different direction, which, to be fair, the entire franchise does. Like, if you see it from the 4th movie, it becomes grittier, darker, more blues and grays. It becomes it becomes a different thing.
But there's music for that. Lord of the Rings had it.
Oh, Lord of the Rings, yes.
Well, yeah, it's like we're on a musical drought, but that's like a tangent that we went on.
If you can't tell, we've never really reviewed anything out loud, because we keep talking about other stuff and not She-Hulk. Basically, She-Hulk, meh. If I had to give it a rating, 5 out of 10, it's whatever. No, maybe even a 4. Like, it's not bad, but I just so not care. It's like me trying to see through a telenovela that my grandma's watching. You know? I don't care.
The cameos were good.
And
the MCU plot moves forward.
Like, it had good scenes, but nothing to me flowed. And whenever like a plot thread carried over from episode to another, I was like, please tell me it's not that, because that is so predictable. Didn't I tell you? Oh, if this dude is bad, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna be so fucking mad. And then he was bad, and I was like, I don't care. I literally don't care. And it made no sense. Like, a dude in the middle of the night, no sedatives, stabs a woman with a syringe the size of a fucking straw. And she doesn't fucking notice?
When you say it like that.
Did you see the size? Because, like, they showed the syringe.
It sounds so stupid.
And it was, like, this big and, like enormous and full of holes. And I was like, there's no way. How the fuck did he do that?
And also while taking a sex tape,
while filming,
to blackmail her. Dude, that was so fucking dark.
It was so dark and so stupid. I was like, And then I don't know. It's like the show kept making excuses to shit on She-Hulk in moments that make no sense. Like,
the whole wedding episode was so obnoxious.
Or, like, even when the sex tape is being released and everyone gets scared of her because she got mad at a sex tape of her in an award show. And no one fucking stopped it.
Zero empathy.
And
when she trashed Titania, everyone was like,
that shit's insane. And yeah, when she punches Titania, everyone's like, good job. What? I don't know. the strides and stretches it kept making just to shit on She-Hulk. Just so that it could deliver in its mind like a comeback or a payback that never happened. I was like,
No. Go watch NCIS.
yeah.
We've been watching that shit and the episodes are good. Like,
Yo.
where are those writers?
Every single, like, we've been watching NCIS, and I've been watching every now and then I watch Special Victims Unit,
Oh.
and it's like a palate cleanser, because like NCIS is like every episode is usually its own case,
Self-contained.
self-contained case within an overarching story across seasons, right? So there'll be characters that come in and out, but there's still like this plot thread that's very strong that keeps going. At the same time, Special Victims Unit is a self-contained episode. Sometimes without a resolution. Sometimes it just stops and it's like, that's all you get. And it fucking like, it like punches you in the gut sometimes. You're like, oh, will he get caught? You'll never know because we'll never tell you because that's the way that show is. And I think it works. The writing in She-Hulk does not give you anything that satisfies anything, or doesn't even like beat you up in a way that you're like, oh, that is thought-provoking and that is like, this is cine, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't even give you that. To put it in perspective, we finished watching She-Hulk. We sort of like, what's it called? We marinated on it for like 30 minutes, and then we started watching Ben 10. And yo, the fucking writing, like comparatively, fucking Ben 10's a fucking masterpiece.
Benton's a masterpiece next to
Every
She-Hulk.
fucking episode was better than the entire season of show of She-Hulk.
Dude, the animation on Benton is actually good, and the drawing,
Yeah,
and
the
backgrounds
animation
are
actually
blurry.
surprised me. Like the fight scenes, I was like, I didn't remember them being this good, man.
It is, dude. Like the fight scenes in Ben 10 are better than She-Hulk, and fucking Ben 10 is like 17 years old. The series, and the comedy, dude.
The comedy,
The comedy in Ben 10 is great.
just
like
just my kind of childish.
yeah, like the cousin says you're dumb, and he answers your face is dumb. Yes, just pure stupid comedy. Like it knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
Man, that's so great. Created by Man of Action.
So that brought me to think of a thing. I don't think I ever actually laughed at a verbal joke in She-Hulk. I would laugh at, like, I wouldn't even laugh. I would go like, you know, at like little bits or like gags or like the occasional thing that will like tickle my funny bone and I'll be like, you know. I don't even think my face would change. I would just go. But even if I try to justify it, I just kept thinking this is clearly just not made for me. This is clearly made for a different kind of audience, like a very specific audience. This is just not made for me. This is not. And then I thought, why is there nothing here for the average Marvel fan? Why not even like a joke for your normal Marvel fan? Like, I understand if you want to make a show for an audience, but if you're making a show for a specific audience that deviates from, like, you have to understand, She-Hulk is a marble in a jar full of marbles that is the MCU. So why, I don't want to say alienate, but you're leaving out most of the people that are going to see it. from all your jokes.
It's like a product for someone else made with the things that
Yeah.
another group like.
Yeah.
Like, you know that the people who are gonna see that series are the Marvel fans, the guys who wanna see Daredevil back, the guys who like love Wong and wanna see him fight the Abomination.
Yeah.
And then they go to the series and
whenever these characters show up, it's usually for things you don't care about.
the worst wasted character of the whole series pissed me off, the Wrecking Crew. Really?
Bro, that was so annoying. Because we saw the Wrecking Crew, and I was like, bro, they have to be working with Ross to make the Red Hulk. Or like my brain went like
Like the Wrecking Crew, that's an old classic Marvel villains. Like, and what they were?
they immediately, at least it seems like they just showed up, disbanded, gone.
And they were just some punks that stole Asgardian tools. What the fuck?
Like, if you told me that a bunch of dudes just stole a bunch of Guardian tools to commit crimes, bro, I can buy it. You know, you can make that interesting. If you get a low-level superhero to go against them, that could be pretty cool. Because again, in the MCU, you have a bunch of normal people fighting superheroes like it's nothing. So like, why not? But they literally just poof, no more, goodbye.
And one of them shows up going to
And then,
therapy,
yeah,
and
one
he
of
doesn't
them-
even mention that they were trying to take her blood.
Like, they fucking drop it. Like, she did. I was so buckled. I was like, bro, how are you not gonna ask him about the whole syringe thing? You meet the guy, sure, you're not gonna beat his brains out. Okay, you are not angry at him anymore. Fucking ask him. No.
And the Abomination going to therapy and selling speeches, becoming a coach. At least by the end of the series, the Abomination is fucked. He moves to Carmitage. Like, hopefully he'll do something fun
Yeah,
later.
I thought they would do something more with him because, like, he was such a passive character the entire time. He was just like there. It was like, oh, I'm applying.
That
for
actor
my
is great,
parole.
though.
Yeah, that actor is good, and they just sort of like had him as a plot device. He was just there. He didn't really do anything.
No, by the way, the acting throughout She-Hulk was great.
Yeah, no, like all the acting was good.
But, like, the lines.
The lines were, you know, like I like that actress as She-Hulk, and as a show, the visual effects were very ambitious because all the people saying it looks like crap. You gotta understand what TV show has given you a full CG people that look anywhere as good as She-Hulk. Full CG people with faces. Never. There's like, even though like conceptually Moon Knight was a lot more daring, it also dealt with a bunch of stuff that were not humans. So there was a lot of wiggle room. No one's gonna say, oh, that alligator-headed woman looks fake. Oh, that hippo woman goddess on a ship going across sand looks kind of cringe, bruh. No, but as soon as you put a person that is green and huge, you know, that is hard. So I think the effects were great. Sometimes they looked rough. I expected worse from a TV show. I honestly did. So, I don't know. Overall, it's still like a 4 or 5 for me out of 10. I don't want to do like, number grades, but it just wasn't great. It was not bad, but it wasn't great. I wouldn't watch it again.
I wanted to watch Daredevil come back, and it was so dumb.
I mean, I feel
Melvin, dude.
Melvin. Oh yeah, no more Melvin. I wonder how much they'll change about him.
Hopefully, it's not gonna be a funny Daredevil, cause
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
no, not really. Wouldn't be that good. The Netflix series really nailed the character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was amazing. But anyhow, I think we overshoot the time by a long.
Yeah. This might get split into. Honestly,
Maybe we'll see.
we'll see. Anyhow, thank you all so much for hanging out, keeping us company and all that stuff. I really do appreciate it. Again, merch will be available. Fall merch will be available till the end of November. So get it while you still can. Even if you missed the 20% store-wide discount, you can still get it before it's gone. Yeah, thank you all so much. Special thanks to all my beautiful patrons. You guys keep this whole thing going. Try subscribing. Maybe. And we'll see you guys again later. Have a good one.